Hey, what's up everyone? Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Happy Monday. Great start to the week with none other than the Monday Market Modern Coin Report. This is for the week ending January 10th, 2021. Hopefully everyone's having a great start to your day. And hopefully you guys don't work so hard to kick off the good old week. But hopefully this video highlighting some of the more relevant post-1900 modern coins to sell in the marketplace in the past 7 days will certainly help your commute wherever you may be. Or maybe you're close to getting off for lunch. It's almost noontime for you folks on the East Coast when this video will be dropping. So a quick little reminder, we have the Florida United Numismatists show that is being hosted by Heritage Auctions. Now, the regular mainline show that usually takes place in Florida, the same time every year, has been canceled because of COVID-19. That was supposed to go down January 7th through the 10th, if I'm not mistaken. But Heritage Auctions, the main auction house that's going to be overseeing a lot of the sales of the big coins, will still be doing their online auction live thing straight from their headquarters in Dallas. So that's going to be the week of January the 20th. If you guys are interested in picking up some really nice coins for your collection, you better believe that the Florida Fund auction hosted by Heritage is going to deliver the goods. Just a preliminary look of some of the coins that they had on display was simply outstanding. Another beautiful mix of high-end coins and some that's a little bit more affordable for folks like me. Last time I checked, I can't quite afford the $50,000 gold piece or some rarity, but they have it all for everyone. So what we have here today is all of the relevant sales from greatcollections.com. As you guys know, they do the weekly auctions. Fantastic. A lot of great stuff, I would say. And I threw in a little bit of a twist on a few of the specific coins in here. Denomination-wise, I'm going to highlight the most expensive coin to sell for the week on Great Collections for the respective the denomination. So I didn't do really pennies, although there is one knockout penny in here, a Lincoln cent. That's sold for a huge chunk of money, but we have a nickel in there. We have a dime that's represented, as well as a quarter. All simply huge in the marketplace and all quite investable quality of coin. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the first graded modern of the week. And it's going to be a few of the usual suspects, starting with a 1972 Lincoln Memorial Cent. As you guys know, the DDO #1 is one of the strongest out there for this particular date, let alone the Memorial Series. If it wasn't for the 69S, this one probably would have taken the cake as being the top dog of DDOs for this series. Now this one right here is a PCGS Mid-State 67 full red. The FS 101 you see here exhibits really clean surfaces. There's not a whole lot of what I would consider to be distracting marks. Maybe that little thing right above the 2 in the field there would be the most notable, but aside from that, just an overall really pleasing example of this coin. These can get out of hand real quick in grades above 67, so a 67 plus, and I believe 68 is the top dog for this state. Those are all very prohibitively expensive coins, unless finding the highest graded examples of this is your thing. Now, this example here is sold for $3,825 here in the past week. Speaking of doubled dies, here's another good one right here. This one is a 1970S large date doubled die Avarice. This is the FS 101. I actually talked about this same coin last week. Not this same coin specifically, but the variety. A few of these have entered the marketplace here recently, probably as a result of going through a BU bag or a roll. in finding these, but this one here has really strong doubling in the motto, "In God We Trust." If you take a look at the image, you can see it crystal clear. This one right here is a PCGS Mid-State 65 full red. There is also a 64 that's sold this week alongside this example, but we're going to talk about the highest graded one. This one right here is sold for $8,780.62. Quite a rare variety, but definitely one that you need to keep on the top of your list, because if you do find one, they are downright pricey and very rare. All right, so what we have here is a coin that I would consider to be somewhat of a safety net in the annals of coin grading. Okay, so I've always, for the last few weeks, I've talked about this quote unquote safety net idea. People are kind of interested and very enamored with the prospect of grading relatively modern coins, flipping them for a good deal of money, right? It's just the way the collectibles world works these days. So finding a coin that, let's say a top pop grade is maybe a 67 or 67 plus, and it's like $8,000 to $10,000 coin, is not easy. So you need to find a coin with what I call a safety net. So if it grades, say, like this example you see here, a 66 plus full red, have no fear. This is a coin that is still worth quite a bit of money. 1954, alongside a few of the Philadelphia earlier 50s Lincoln Wheats, are among some of the most toughest coins to find in such a high mint-state grade. So, coins like this, where it's not exactly the top pop, are a suitable kind of like plan B for a lot of registry set participants. To give you an idea, this one sold for $1,041.75. The way I see it is that if you're able to make at least triple your submission costs in submitting this to PCGS, then you have done relatively well. Ideally, you want to hit the top grades and really knock it out of the park, which is, at this grade level, it still does that and achieves it very well. Okay, so it's not a MMR report deal without having a zinc-coated Steely on the list. Okay, we got 43S. This one is Mint-State 68 through PCGS. CAC certified, and nice high-end grade. I've talked about at least one of these per week. They are just a regular staple. And the fact that there's so many of them at high grades and the prices really haven't come down on them just really gives you just an overall just appreciation for a coin that is very valuable in the highest grades. And it just shows you that everybody wants this. Because the prices have trended this same line for over the last 2 years. It's just downright filthy the way it works. This particular one right here sold for $2,643.75. Very pretty coin. Very, very pretty. All right, on to a little bit of a semi-key date. The 31S, as you guys know, is that particular date. It is also known as being one of the coins that people knew was going to be a lot lower mintage. This one right here didn't quite crack the 1 million mintage mark when it was produced back in 1931. As a matter of fact, a lot of these were preserved in such high grades that finding one in a Mint-State 65 or a 66 is pretty easy. In spite of its low mintage. But, this is kind of like the 1950D Jefferson nickel. People knew it was going to be a little bit of a semi-key rarity for that particular point in time. Therefore, a lot of it was hoarded right out of change. So this particular example right here in a 66 red, it's also CAC green beaned, did sell for $2,937.38. And then finally, the big Lincoln cent of the bunch is going to be this 1912S. Pretty crazy coin here. PCGS Mint-State 66 full red. Finding a full red anything from the teens is very, very difficult. So it was nice to see this example up here. And boy, is it very clean. That's important. Lincoln cent collectors are a huge bunch. Okay, it's a very large base of folks, and a lot of them do have deep pockets. They want the nicest looking coins for the date type, and San Francisco minted coins generally are just not seen in this condition. This one coin here is sold for $9,281.25. This is certainly a great statement, if not centerpiece, to a Lincoln cent set. Okay, on to nickels. So we have a few Jeffersons. I wanted to point this particular one out because the numerical grade isn't high. It's a proof 66 through NGC. However, Ultra Cameo is going to be the most important factor for this coin. Now, coins, specifically proof set coins from the 50s, and it doesn't pick a date. 1950, I mean, the earlier you get in the 50s, of course, it's, harder to find full sets anyways, and they're quite expensive. But 1957 is what I would consider to be a readily available date in proof sets for under $30. Okay, these things used to be, found at coin shops for around $20 as recently as 2018. But with the increase of the collectibles market, that has also affected everything else with it. Proof sets are not immune to it, especially from the 50s. I mean, it's still relatively low mintage. A million or two is nothing to sneeze at. But this one right here exhibits exactly what you want to find in a proof set. Full Ultra Cameo, great frosting. I think the reverse looks a little bit better on this one than the obverse, mainly because the fields are quite black and they contrast really well with the white frostiness of the devices. This is probably less than 0.5% of the total run of proof sets for this date where you find actual cameo on them. They're just not seen. Usually the little pebbled surface of the cameo part is usually worn away after so many strikes. So we have a coin here that effectively, very desired with a cameo, sold for $2,418.75 here yesterday. And the first date of the Jefferson nickel series, 1938, is not a coin that is incredibly rare in high grades. Now this one right here is kind of like a one-off scenario. PCGS Mid-State 68. I mean, that's a bomb of a grade. Full steps. Okay, it looks pretty nice. Overall, very clean, very lustrous. This is more likely going into a type set. This one right here sold for $9,843.75. And I'll also add, this is the single finest graded 38 in existence. There are none finer. Pop one. That's the price you pay for having, the most unique coin on the face of the earth. And it's this one right here. Almost $10,000. Pretty nice. Buffalo time. We got a really, really nice 1937S, not particularly rare yet again in high grades. If you wanted a Mid-State 65 for your Buffalo, nickel 30s set, you can get one for about $100, maybe $1.25, somewhere around there. However, this one right here is a Mid-State 67 Plus through NGC. Just a tremendous example, very well struck. A lot of the design details are fully in great display on this coin. This is truly one of those coins that if you were going to invest a little bit of money on, this is a great choice. Yeah, it's the 1930s and they're relatively common in all grades except this particular grade right here. Sold for $1,874.25. Considering the next few coins I'm going to talk about, this one is a bargain, but not this one. This is a 1937 Buffalo. It's a Philadelphia too. Mid-State 68 is the top grade for something like this. Just truly marvelous looking coin here. 37 is one of those dates where if you needed a BU example, you can find one for about $25-30. They are all over the place. They're just they run rampant in every coin shop and show that you could think of. It's all over eBay. You could find raw examples in that middle Mid-State grade quite well. Now, if you're a good cherry picker, maybe you could find one that's like a 67 plus, or even this one, a 68, top end of the curve. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, sold for $8,156.26. Now, we're going to end it off on a beast. Look at this thing. 1921. This is also Philadelphia. Quite a tough date, in spite of the fact that it is a Philadelphia struck example. But look at the date. All right, that is if you looked at the era in which this was struck, and look at all the other coins. 1921 was kind of like that semi-key low mintage year that we identify with the Mercury dime, the Walking Liberty half. I mean, you name it. I mean, those are extremely tough coins to find in mid-state. This one right here is a 67 plus. It's just a laughable type of coin that you don't normally come across, but when you do, oh man, you hit the lottery, that's for sure. This one is also CAC backed, and I'm happy to say that this one brought home $23,050.12. Yeah, I'll trade my Buffalo nickel for a brand spanking new, fully loaded Honda Civic. You know, if you were going to compare, you know, apples to apples when it comes to the actual price value, it just seems bonkers to me that that's kind of like the the comparison. All right, so we have a couple dimes, and we're going to start it off with a 45S, fully struck example, might I add, and probably the prettiest toning of the bunch, which says a lot. It's a PCGS mid-state 68 full bands, so it's very well struck with fully defined separation lines on the top, middle, and bottom set of bands. The middle is what's the most important. That one gets worn down, or, you know, the dies just lose its characteristics after a few hundred strikes. But this is a really beautiful coin, very original. Sold for $7,312.50. The most expensive dime to hammer on great collections is going to be this one here, a 1907S. Simply stunning example, fully original with the toning. The toning feels like it's 114 years old. I mean, just looking at it. PCGS Mid-State 67, CAC certified. Yeah, barbers generally get, you know, kind of the bad rap, you know, for their design. I mean, Lady Liberty looks like a man on these things, right? Yeah, but still, the Barber series of coins was always traditionally known as being the workhorses during its time, so very few of them were ever kept in mid-state condition. I mean, people weren't exactly saving these in rolls when they were released by the respective mints. You know, so finding one as a mid-state 67, it doesn't even matter what date or mint mark it is. That is a task all by itself. So what did this one sell for? How about $26,049.38? Woo, man. Yeah, I might have to actually forego collecting high-end barbers because they get up there for sure. Okay, so here's the French tickler part of the video. I mean, man, we have 4 state quarters, and I haven't talked about a good state quarter in quite some time, but by the time you're done listening to these 4 quarter details, you're just going to shake your head. And of course, I'm going to throw in my little disclaimer at the end. So make sure you follow through here and not just watch the 4 coins and it just, you know, dip. State quarter high-end registry sets are a thing. And I would have to say that this was probably a registry set that was broken apart and dissolved, and just based off of what I've seen. So the first coin up here is a 2008 Denver, Alaska state quarter, one of the final designs of the bunch, toward the final end there of the series that kind of re-sparked coin collecting and specifically got newer collectors involved. This one is a mint state 69. Really clean, very satiny surfaces. Again, it's by NGC. Yeah, this is just a huge bomb right here. This one sold for $1,743.75. A very tough grade than you would imagine for it being a coin only like over 10 years old. These coins were circulated. They were beat up. even at brand spanking new. It's just really tough to find one at this grade level. Everything's bigger in Texas, is what they say, including this quarter. This is a Philadelphia 2004 NGC graded mid-state 69. Man, this is probably the best representative of its grade type out of the bunch. I think it's more on the reverse with all of the satiny, very clean, undisturbed fields of this coin. And I love I never really thought about it, but I love that rope design right there on the periphery of the coin. This is, as simple as it is, this is a really good looking coin. And this one, for a registry set enthusiast, sold for $4,050. Yeah. What's it going to take? Obviously, these folks have gone through many BU rolls in search of the perfect coin. And that's what it's going to be involved. This is nothing that you're going to be able to find in your pocket change. Certainly not. Not if you're looking to get a 69, because it's either 69 or bust. Anything lower than that, you're going to barely recover your submission costs. So keep that in mind. All right, we got another 69 here. This one, a 2002D Indiana Statehood quarter. This one looks pretty good. I think this one here, my least favorite. The luster and the flow lines in here is less satiny. This really does look like a coin made for business strike purposes. But anyways, this is another one that sold for $4,050, if you can believe that. It's going to go in a registry set. And finally, the last Statehood quarter that I will never buy on a whim or for investment purposes whatsoever is the 2002D Ohio State quarter. This one also is 69 through NGC. And as you could tell, these were all graded at different periods of their, collective lives, because the grade labels are all different on all of them, style-wise. So this is a little bit older generation label, or is the last one? Oh, this is the early. This one's earlier, I think, with that just a strip of silver at the bottom of the label. But anyways, yeah, this one right here, another huge coin, $3,768.75. All four coins on the list combined totaled over $13,600, as you would notice on the thumbnail of the video. There were also probably another 4 or 5 that sold for between, say, $1,000 to $2,500. So, yeah, obviously there was some sort of maybe prominent registry set that was broken apart and just dissolved. And, yeah, pretty crazy stuff with Statehood quarters. And the final coin for the Monday Market Report this week is going to be the most expensive quarter, and it happens to be the key date. Don't let the grade fool you. Sure, it's only an AU53, which stands for about uncirculated. Obviously, this coin has seen some circulation, but this is just an overall beautiful example of a coin that most people will never own in their lifetimes, unless you had the capital to back it up. But if you were really into the Barber series, whether it's the dimes, the quarters, or the half dollars, 1901, San Francisco's, I've probably held one low ball of that particular date in my hand at one point. And it's nothing to really, turn your head around about. This is a very, very rare coin. And the higher grade you get, the even more rare it is. Survival rates are very low. This one is also CAC backed, and it sold for $44,130.38. What a way to end it off. And what a way to end the Monday Market Report for the week ending January 10th. I want to thank each and every single one of you for watching in this week. I want you guys to be healthy, happy, and safe. Have a great week of anything that you do, and happy hunting for all my coinaholics out there. We are discovering together. I want you guys to take care, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I almost forgot to say that. Hit that bell for instant notifications, and I will see you guys on the next